Hello and welcome to the Outside View, brought to you by Women's Quick Zone and presented by BSV, Puma, Food and Wellness, and MRI Hospitals. Okay, then, match 5 of the mega event, and the hosts are all set to battle it out against the debutants in the ODI World Cup, Bangladesh. Both the teams entered this contest after having lost their opening games. New Zealand, of course, were in the game for most part, but then a miracle from Deandra Doughton saw the West Indies seal the deal. Whereas Bangladesh put up a good fight and would have taken all the positives from the match against South Africa. So now to talk about today's contest, I have alongside me Brittany and Shatira. Welcome, ladies, to the show.
Hi, good day, everyone.
So coming to you, Brittany, first. What would be New Zealand's perspective against Bangladesh today when they take the charge of the field? A young side, less experienced, both teams come from a loss. So, what would be the perspective of them, even if Bangladesh hadn't played a lot of matches? They put up a good fight against South Africa.
I believe that New Zealand is going to take this game against Bangladesh very serious, and they are not going to take Bangladesh any lightly. If you look at the game Bangladesh play against South Africa, which is a world class team, they had South Africa under pressure. It's obvious to know that no, once you take early wickets against New Zealand is always going to be on the back foot. So I know New Zealand is going to be looking for to have a strong opening partnership and look to take this game against Bangladesh, even though they are, uh, uh, as I say, newcomers to the World Cup, but they're going to take this game totally serious, coming from a loss against West Indies.
Of course, and after the first match that we saw between New Zealand and Bangladesh, New Zealand and West Indies, it is probably not right to judge the match until the last ball is played because miracles happen in cricket, and that's we all know about it. So, Shatira, Bangladesh playing New Zealand for the very first time in the 50-over format. Of course, in the age of technology, you have all the ways to do your homework against any team. But how do you think will Bangladesh take this challenge against the hosts?
Bangladesh always like to take challenges everywhere. So this is their first World Cup. In the first match, we showed our capability. Unfortunately, we couldn't make the match win, but they played very very well. And with South Africa, they bowled very well. There were some miscalculation about their batting strike and everything. That's why they couldn't make the match win. But I wish they got 1 day gap and they have think about this mistake where they did it and what they should do. I think this match they're going to come back strongly.
Obviously, the first match was a nail biting one, but to lose it by a close margin, of course, in the post match of the first match, you were there, Brittany. I wasn't there, Rupa was there, but when we joined the session before going live a few minutes, Deandra Doughton was bowling that ball, and I was trying to peep in and check what your reactions were. You were super happy. So just wanted to know from you that how is the atmosphere in the dressing room? What are the talks that follow to up the morale of the team when you lose a match by that margin, when you already had it in your hand?
It's very demoralizing, as you said, when you have the game literally in your hand. Don't think a lot of people thought, it would have come down to the fact that, well, it would have come down so close to New Zealand eventually losing the game. I think, New Zealand sit down and had a really tougher competition with each other, because obviously as a home team and coming into the World Cup with such a good record, and having such a good record against West Indies, even in New Zealand, I know it's going to be very demoralizing, but being the kind of leader, Sophie Devine, and you have Amy and you have Bates, I know they're going to come hard doing this game, and it's going to look to set a statement.
Yes, here to state a statement. Also, Bangladesh strength is spin. We saw that in the first match as well, Shatira. Though they don't have experience by their side, but they pretty much know what their strengths are. They rely on the strengths and try to bring up the positives, and that is something that they would aim doing against New Zealand as well.
Yeah, obviously, Bangladesh strength was spin still is that, but surprisingly last match all the pacers did very very well, and they surprised us, especially the new bowler Faria Trishna. She took 3 wickets. She is not too fast, but she is very capable, very good leg swinger, and she could maintain the line and length very nicely. And Jahanar Alam did very well, and Ritu Moni also. And I'm upset little bit with the spinner, especially Nahida Akhtar. When we think a lot about that bowler, but she couldn't do well. And Salma Khatun was good in the first spell, but in second spell she was very expensive. Ruman Ahmed was really good in the ground with the ball, with the bat, and with the fielding. And I we saw very good fielding with her, and she took 3 catch, 1 run out in that match. So uh, I am little bit disappointed with the spinners' performance, but the Pacers have done their work all the day. Everyone cannot do well, but that day was the Pacers' day. But today, they have to rely on their spinners, because if in New Zealand, if you want to beat New Zealand in their home ground, you have to rely on your spinner definitely, which is your main strength.
True. And if I have to give you an update from the middle, the toss has been delayed due to rain. So obviously we'll keep you updated about the toss and when as and when it gets started. So next, I'll come to you, Brittany, with my next question. Susie Bates departed early on in the last match. Unfortunately, that run out happened. But her contributions at the top order will be very important alongside Devine, especially after the match against West Indies. We saw that being the host, they lost it, and then there would be a pressure on them as well to perform because always when it is the host country, it's there, the pressure is somewhere there. So your thoughts on that?
You always look for the Splash Sisters to give you a good partnership. You know, Sophie Fang and Susie Bates on top has always delivered for New Zealand. So it was unfortunate the way she got dismissed, but knowing the character of Susie Bates, is, you know, she's going to put that on the side and go back to play the kind of game she's capable of. Coming against Bangladesh, as she mentioned, I know that you're looking for Bangladesh spinners to do much more, but you saw that, you know, the Pacers did well. So the question is, you form that the opening Bangladesh opening Pacers came into the game, coming into this game against New Zealand, and the fact that New Zealand top order didn't have the best of outing against, besides Divine, of course, outing against New Zealand. Is it going to play in the mind? And the fact also that rain is in the air. So there's a lot of things going bang this way right now if they happen to win the toss and decide to send New Zealand to bat.
Yes, and but the thing is, chasing teams have faced difficulties. We have seen that in the matches so far. So if that happens, if Brittany is saying that New Zealand would be put to bat first, so Shatira, then the responsibility would again come on the Bangladesh batters. The openers obviously gave them a good start, but the partnerships that didn't happen in the first match, so that there would be some concerns over there, and that is where New Bangladesh would want to improve themselves.
That's true. Chasing is always difficult for a new team, because when you are going to chase, you have to maintain the nerve. You have to count the run rate in every over. You have to think all the ifs and buts. But they unfortunately they couldn't do it last match. Yeah, they had a good partnership, very good partnership till 19th, 20th over, but I think there was some mistake of their counting, because it was their strike rate was so slow, because first 10 over first power play it was only 29. So if you are going to chase 207 in first 10 over, in especially in power play, if you are doing only 29 whatever it is without no loss or anything, you have to think much. At least you had to do 40 to 50 runs in this power play, then the equation will be okay. But I think they were a little bit slow in that power play. And I'll especially say they miss Murshida Khatun, the best opener of Bangladesh in present days, but she went for number 4. So if you are not using your best opener in the opening slot, who could utilize the power play, who could like hit in the air, or who can score so quick run in the power play. That was the problem, I think. And she is the player, she can do open every time. I never see her in the middle order or lower order or number 3 4. So I think they couldn't utilize the best batter. So I think today is the day maybe they will think about their batting order.
I remember Shatira in our pre-show for the first match between Bangladesh and South Africa. You told me that everybody in Bangladesh were excited. They're excited to watch the women's team in action, and that itself was a big achievement. So tell us something about the experience, some talks that you've heard, or the experience from the team. How the entire euphoria was there in Bangladesh after the first match.
Oh, everyone is very happy, especially because we know our strength. This is our first World Cup. Our expectation was not too much that we are going to win all the matches or we are going to qualify for semi-final. Yeah, our expectation was not really very high, because we know this is a new team and everyone in the world, they knows about the other team's capability, how good they are. Yeah, we had some expectation with some. I told before, like I had some expectation with South Africa and Pakistan. So with South Africa, we played very well. Everyone is very happy. So if you see me, I'm doing TV shows whole the day. So still I'm doing shows. So all the television media and all the newspaper, they're writing about Bangladesh performance, and everyone is talking positive. That is the good thing. Like they have fight very well. They knows about that South Africa team, that they were a very strong team, but our girls did very well, especially in the field. They saw how they bowl and they feel. And the main important thing is the openers did well and how they negotiate the short ball. It was the problem for boys and girls always, the both of the team. And everyone really appreciating their fighting mentality, and we are with the team always, and we know this team will do definitely good in this World Cup. This is a surprising package, I told always, so we are waiting for the surprise.
Surprising package. We also mentioned West Indies as the surprising package when we were doing the previews and the shows as well. But as Shatira before said, that using the power play becomes very important, because if the opposition gets an early breakthrough there, that's when the flow of runs it gets restricted. We saw that against South Africa as well. Brits was struggling to score runs. It built up pressure on Laura Wolfart. Similar thing against India as well in the yesterday's game. How important it becomes to give a good start to the team in a World Cup, especially, and then capitalize on the momentum that you have received, Brittany.
At the end of the day, both teams want to have a good start. The bowlers want to take early wickets, and the batters want to put on at least a 50 plus score when batting, whether they're chasing or batting first. Unfortunately, it's only going to swing one way. But the whole idea is that even if it don't happen in terms of the bowlers don't take early wickets or the batters don't give the opening pair doesn't give them the partnership they want, the other batters and bowlers have to know, okay, if they cannot do it or they didn't do it, I have to step up. They have to take responsibility. And if you look at say probably England, let's take England game 4 for 1. Look at Lauren Winfield Hill. She did not produce any run, but if you look at the partnership after, they stepped up and delivered and bring the game close. So unfortunately, only one team could win at the top, which is either the batters or the bowlers. So we just have to see how it swings.
Yes, definitely. Also, talking about Bangladesh's bowling, it was good against South Africa. Like restricting a South African side that has some good batters in their lineup, definitely with the big names there, Marizan Cap, Chloe Tryon, Laura Wolfart. But then the bowling unit did a good job restricting them to a modest total. Precisely the partnership they couldn't build, and then that actually hurt them. Was what actually hurt Bangladesh was their batting. But if you have to talk about the bowling overall, how would you sum up Bangladesh bowling, Shatira?
They were really, really very good, especially Faria Chishna. I've always like exactly 3 years before she had played the first domestic league. And before that she was a learner. She never played any domestic league, and she was giving exam, and she played for my team for the first time, very first time. And we saw a left arm pacer came, and we didn't have any left arm pacer in Bangladesh, even in the domestic arena also. And she just came and played for my team, and we were losing the matches before she came. And when she came, she played very well, and she makes us win. So from that day we knew that she's going to play for Bangladesh. And it was too early. A new player who came from who played for the of any domestic league, and after 3 years she's playing World Cup. So she's very lucky and very talented. Definitely she did very well. And Jahanara Alom, um, I was telling about Faria Tishnana, 10 over 3.50 economy and 3 wickets. That's great. And this is the best bowling figure that day for Bangladesh. And I'm pretty much sure she's going to be the highest wicket taker for Bangladesh in this World Cup, maybe. And Janara Alom, everyone knows about her pace and her ability. She was bowling 109 and 110 kilometer, and all the South African and I think the best pacers are doing in the almost in the same pace. So she is the bowler. She can compete with anyone, any um, from any country's best bowler. So she is, in my eyes, she is one of the best pace bowler in the world. So she was there, and she is playing for Bangladesh from last 13 years. So it's very difficult for a pace bowler to maintain her what I'll say, her fitness and play for the national team from the very first national team to now. So she's very hardworking girls, and with that Ritu Moni and everyone did very well. Especially the fielders helped them a lot, because if you're doing good bowling, if you're bowling well and your fielder is not supporting you, it cannot make the team very well. So everyone did very well, and we are very surprised to see them like that.
Precisely, Faria Krishna, as you mentioned, the basket of skills she brought to the table in that match definitely impressed everybody. Then, if I have to come to New Zealand, Brittany, the lower middle order of New Zealand didn't look at its absolute best. Maddie Green, Halliday. Did they miss Lauren down there, considering her good form against India? Of course, she's out with a thumb fracture. Your thoughts on how can they just turn the tables this time around? New Zealand pretty much in the game, but then it just slipped away from them.
When I choose my playing 11 that New Zealand should have played against West Indies, I had McKay in. I had no Brooke Holiday because I feel like she's the excellent all rounder, and she's the type of player to stabilize New Zealand middle order if the top order doesn't perform. And I think she would have been the best player to replace Lauren because she's injured. So it was unfortunate that it happened, but it was good that it happened that she did not play and West Indies end up winning. So if there is a change for me today in New Zealand 11, I will like to see Holiday out and McKay in.
Holiday out and McCain is what
Yeah.
Brittany wants to see in the playing 11 for New Zealand. Of course, Brittany, I want to ask you this thing as well. Bangladesh played their first match, and in the post match show, Dane had joined us alongside Shatira. And she said that the way the team carried themselves on the field, it didn't appear that they were playing their first World Cup. Your thoughts on that, the way they presented themselves on the field? As an opposition, how would you take that?
Bangladesh have nothing to lose. They have everything to prove. It's like going into a game or going into a World Cup with nothing on your shoulders instead of you just have to go out there, have fun and show the world what your team is capable of. It's unfortunate that a team like Bangladesh doesn't have get the TV coverage as other team. So this is the opportunity for them to showcase or to show the board that we are worth the investment. Bangladesh didn't look like a team that haven't played cricket in months. Bangladesh didn't look like a team that never played in a World Cup. What they did against South Africa, the fact that they only lost by 32 runs with a world class bowling attack like South Africa, people thought Bangladesh would have been outdone for 150 odd. But it's amazing to see the fight Bangladesh put up against South Africa, and as I say, a lot of other teams come in to play against Bangladesh going to literally sit down and study them because they are capable of upsetting a team.
Definitely. A word on Sharmeen Akhtar Shatira produced a good performance in the warm-up match as well. Was looking good against South Africa as well. Just wanted to know from you more about her, the basket of skills that she brings to the table.
She was excellent, and I was very surprised to see her how she was playing the short ball, and she was negotiate all the bowlers like that. Last few years, last 2 years, she worked very hard, and Sakib Al Hasan have a very what I'll say. Sakib Al Hasan have made an academy here, and she is taking coaching from this academy, and she was working very hard. She was out of the team for a few days, and that time she got some free time, and I saw her how she was working so hard. She was doing gym, she was doing practice day and night every day. So she when she was doing very hard work, that time you knew that this girl is going in. And every time, the player like Sharmin Akhtar Shupta, every time she have to fight to come into the team, and most of the team she is out, most of the time she's out of the team. And when she is coming back, she's playing well again, she's out of the team. I don't know why. She is not that much of regular, but the skill how she showed in last match, we all are surprised, because in New Zealand she was negotiate the South African pacers, and she was excellent how she played, and she was very confident. She looks like very confident, and that was her main strength, and she will play well. Definitely she did very well with against England. She did 81 not out, and she got her maiden century in Zimbabwe last few days before in World Cup qualifying. She did 130, and definitely she is one of the best batter in the team now. But she have to continue hold the tournament this performance, and she will do definitely. I know her very closely.
Shatira has pinned her hopes on Sharmeen Akhtar. Finally, I would like to know your views on Fran Jonas Brittany, New Zealand's second youngest ODI World Cup debutant, made it to the team, but she conceded quite a few runs in the opening game. So, as a debutant, you don't have a perfect ideal match. How do you bounce back in that situation? What is the mindset and the thoughts that go on in a player's mind?
Funny thing is that my motto for today is make your yesterday make today better than your yesterday. And it already happened. It already happened. The most she could do is try to take some positive out of it, and there's always some positive and negative. Yes, she did not perform as well as she want to, but I don't think that it is that it is for her to drop her. She's young, she's inexperienced, but I know she could get a lot of a feedback and conversation with Amelia Kerr in terms of how difficult it could be sometimes when you're not getting a ball to turn on. And that was her only issue in that game. The West Indies players was playing her very comfortable and easy. We all know West Indians not a fan of leg spinners. So I hope teams don't take that as a hint. Yes. So she's gonna come out today. She know what she's capable of. The team know what she's capable of. So I don't see, as I said, New Zealand making any big changes into the team. So I'm looking to see how she come back in this game.
Definitely, we will all be looking forward to see how she comes back and delivers for her team. Of course, the toss has been delayed due to rain, and then New Zealand and Bangladesh, both having lost their opening fixtures, will be all raring to take the charge of the field and get to a winning momentum into this ODI World Cup. So we'll give you an updates about the toss. Stay tuned to Women's Quick Zone for it. And that's it from the pre-show now. You, of course, stay tuned. We'll give you all the updates regarding the playing 11s and the toss on Women's Cricket Zone. So stay tuned to Women's Cricket Zone for all the updates on women's cricket.